Edmund Burke's Reflections on the Revolution in France, 1790, is a foundational text in conservative political thought. Written in response to the early stages of the French Revolution, Burke critiques the upheaval and offers a vigorous defense of traditional institutions, emphasizing the dangers of radical change. The work juxtaposes the perceived excesses of the French Revolution against the stable evolution of British constitutionalism, setting the stage for debates about revolution, tradition, and reform. Context and purpose. Burke penned the Reflections as a response to a letter from a young Frenchman, who sought Burke's thoughts on the unfolding revolution. At its core, the text is a warning against the perils of abstract theorizing in politics and an argument for the preservation of established social orders. Burke contrasts the French Revolution with England's Glorious Revolution of 1688, which he views as a model of prudent reform within existing traditions. Key themes and arguments. 1. The value of tradition. Burke underscores the importance of historical continuity and inherited wisdom. He argues that societies are not mere abstractions but living partnerships that extend across generations, those who are dead, those who are living, and those yet to be born. This continuity, embodied in institutions such as the monarchy and the church, provides societal stability and moral grounding. Burke criticizes the French revolutionaries for rejecting their heritage in favor of untested, abstract principles like equality and liberty. He views this as a reckless severance from the accumulated wisdom of the past, which guides incremental and sustainable reform. 2. Critique of abstract reason. A central pillar of Burke's critique is his rejection of abstract reason in political affairs. He warns that theoretical ideals, detached from practical realities, lead to chaos and tyranny. For Burke, political governance should be rooted in experience, tradition, and a respect for human nature, which he sees as inherently fallible and prone to passion. He points to the revolutionaries' reliance on reason as their guiding principle and criticizes their failure to consider the complexities of human society. Burke emphasizes that society cannot be rebuilt from scratch using rational blueprints, it must evolve organically. 3. The dangers of radicalism. Burke views the French Revolution as a dangerous experiment that undermines societal stability. He condemns its violent overthrow of established institutions, particularly the monarchy and the church. He sees the revolutionaries as driven by a misguided belief in human perfectibility, which he argues leads to despotism. For Burke, the revolution's emphasis on rights at the expense of duties disrupts the social fabric. He fears that the pursuit of abstract equality disregards the necessary inequalities inherent in social hierarchies, which he believes are natural and beneficial. 4. The role of religion. Religion, for Burke, is central to maintaining social order and moral behavior. He laments the revolutionaries' attacks on the Catholic Church, which he views as a repository of wisdom and a stabilizing force in society. Burke argues that by severing ties with religion, the revolutionaries have unleashed chaos, removing a key restraint on human passions. 5. The British Constitution as a model. Throughout the text, Burke contrasts the French Revolution with Britain's Glorious Revolution, which he regards as a model of measured reform. He praises the British Constitution for balancing monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy, ensuring stability and liberty. Burke sees the Glorious Revolution as an affirmation of tradition rather than a rejection of it, emphasizing that change should be rooted in respect for the past. 6. Human nature and society. Burke's view of human nature is deeply skeptical. He believes people are driven by passions and prejudices, requiring the guidance of established institutions to maintain order. Radical egalitarianism, in his view, ignores the complexities of human nature and leads to societal disarray. Burke argues that a harmonious society depends on a delicate balance of freedom and restraint. Critique of the Revolution. Burke's critique extends beyond abstract principles to the specific actions of the revolutionaries. He condemns the treatment of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, portraying their downfall as a symbol of the revolution's cruelty and disregard for honor. Burke's emotional response to the Queen's plight highlights his belief in chivalry and the moral obligations of the ruling class. Burke also criticizes the National Assembly for its hubris and incompetence. He accuses it of dismantling the existing social order without a viable alternative, leading to economic and political instability. Burke predicts that the revolution will spiral into violence and tyranny, a prescient observation given the reign of terror that followed. Defense of inequality and hierarchy. Burke defends social hierarchies, arguing that they reflect the natural order and contribute to societal harmony. He believes that inequalities of wealth, power, and privilege are not only inevitable but necessary for the functioning of society. These hierarchies, he contends, impose duties and responsibilities that bind society together. Burke's defense of the aristocracy and monarchy is grounded in his belief that they embody the accumulated wisdom of generations. He sees these institutions as a counterbalance to the excesses of popular rule, providing stability and continuity. Legacy and influence. Reflections on the Revolution in France became a seminal text in conservative thought, shaping debates about revolution, reform, and tradition. It influenced thinkers such as Thomas Carlyle and inspired resistance to radical change in Europe and beyond. Burke's arguments about the dangers of utopianism and the importance of historical continuity remain relevant in contemporary discussions of political change. While celebrated for its eloquence and prescience, the Reflections also faced criticism. Radical thinkers such as Thomas Paine and Mary Wollstonecraft accused Burke of defending tyranny and ignoring the plight of the oppressed. Paine's Rights of Man was written as a direct rebuttal to Burke, advocating for the principles of the French Revolution and the rights of individuals over inherited privilege. Conclusion. Edmund Burke's Reflections on the Revolution in France is a powerful defense of tradition and a cautionary tale about the dangers of radical change. Rooted in a deep skepticism of human nature and an abiding respect for historical continuity, Burke's arguments challenge the revolutionary zeal of his time. His critique of abstract reason, emphasis on the value of institutions, and defense of gradual reform have cemented his place as one of the foremost thinkers in the conservative tradition. Burke's work is not merely a critique of the French Revolution but a broader meditation on the nature of society and governance. His warnings about the perils of utopianism and the fragility of civilization continue to resonate, offering enduring insights into the challenges of political transformation.